Now the second largest city in the world after London, New York plunged into the 20th century with a new and distinctively modern sense of dynamism and movement. Downtown, the city began its thrilling race into the sky, propelled by the new white-collar economy taking shape on Wall Street and taking advantage of a revolutionary new kind of construction, using steel framing and elevators that allowed its towers to rise higher than any buildings in history. Every few years, a new skyscraper claimed the title of tallest in the world, corporate symbols on the world's first skyline, the iconic image of the modern city. But nothing about that city was more dynamic or modern than the millions of people now pouring in through the harbor, following an epic journey that took them across an ocean, past the Statue of Liberty, through the harsh inspections of Ellis Island, and into the busy streets of Manhattan, where they found refuge in the complex ethnic patchwork of the Lower East Side, a bustling human cauldron of nearly 1 million people from more than a dozen countries in Europe and elsewhere. Here the newcomers would remain for just 10 years on average, before upending their lives once again and moving on to newer parts of the city. By now, that outward movement was being advanced by a series of gigantic steel bridges across the East River and by an entirely new kind of transit system, an underground electric railroad called the subway. Over the next few decades, dozens of new subway lines would be pushed beneath the rivers and out into the countryside, welding the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan into a single metropolitan unit. For the price of a nickel subway ride, all the far-flung wonders of the metropolis now came within reach. Beaches and resorts at the far edge of Brooklyn, remote woodlands and ballparks in the northern Bronx, vaudeville theaters and roof gardens on Times Square. By World War I, this 5-borough universe had itself been linked to the rest of the country through a pair of spectacular structures, Grand Central Terminal and Pennsylvania Station, majestic gateways through which a new generation would soon be arriving to propel the city fully into the modern age.
It was New York that filled our imagination.